Every room inside is filled with things from far away. The special things I compile, each one there to make you smile on a rainy day. They can say it all sounds crazy. They can say we've lost our minds. I don't care if they call us crazy. Run away with the world that we design. 'Cause every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head. A million dreams are keeping me awake. I think of what the world could be, a vision of the one I see. A million dreams is all it's gonna take. A million dreams for the world we're gonna make. However big, however small, let me be a part of it all. Share your dreams with me. We may be right, we may be wrong, but I will bring you along to the world you see. To close our eyes to see, we close our eyes to see. 'Cause every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head. A million dreams are keeping me awake. I think of what the world could be, a vision of the one I see. A million dreams is all it's gonna take. A million dreams for the world we're gonna make. For the world we're gonna make.
Welcome to the second night of our 2021 District Conference for Super District 6400. I'm Stacy Jones.
And I'm Dave Jones.
Dave and I are both active members of the Rotary Club of Kingsville South Shore.
We are excited to be your hosts for this evening's celebration, and what a lineup we have again for you tonight. So we invite you to sit back, relax, and enjoy the show, and enjoy a little margarita.
We're now ready to go live to the Trenton Village Theatre in Trenton, Michigan, where we understand that Captain Rotary is he there?
Does anyone have eyes on Captain Rotary? Oh wait, is that him coming around the corner?
So great to be here. A little out of breath, but I made it finally. It's great. So I want to thank Sarah for that amazing message, uplifting message in A Million Dreams. This past year has been a million dreams, with experiences, challenges, certainly, triumphs, and accomplishments. This year's Rotary theme is Rotary Opens Opportunities. As the year started for Debbie and I in January 2020 at the International Assembly in San Diego with 540 of my fellow district governors, classmates, little did we know that all of our well-laid plans in a few short weeks would be so abruptly impacted by the COVID crisis, a global pandemic. The world seemed to come to a halt with so much confusion and uncertainty. Rotarians soon sprang into action, and we quickly learned to adapt and respond to this crisis. Our meetings went virtual. We became creative, and we adapted to our situation. We engaged our communities and looked for solutions. Shortage of PPE, we raised funds and made masks. Hunger, we collected from food pantries and amazing, successful food drives. Disease prevention, we've worked to mitigate this virus and organized and volunteered for vaccination sites. Loneliness and emotional impact. The family of Rotary took care of each other, and there is so much more. All of the other amazing things that Rotarians usually do, clubs continued creatively and continue to adapt to the COVID restrictions. International projects, the dreams of Rotarians have continued to come true. Water projects, literacy projects, schools, dental clinics, and educational programs. The latest initiative of oxygen generators for India, all because Rotarians care and act. Fundraisers have continued and have been reinvented in a COVID-friendly way, sometimes raising record amounts. Donations and giving has been very generous. We began the Polio Plus Society for members who are able to donate $100 annually. Raising funds for polio has never been more important. As you all know, we are this close. Raising funds and raising awareness for polio can be fun. Pizza for polio, bowling for polio, skydiving for polio. This year, skydiving for polio raised $20,000 with a record 20 skydivers and a lakefront party afterwards. Fundraising, the golf outing. Oh, sorry, I meant to say golf outings. We had the first ever dual outings with US and Canada, raising over $37,000 with 200 golfers. So many thanks to Dave Hamilton, Nick Krajcich, and Dave Jones, who pushed these important funds over the top. Club projects, amazing efforts and collaborations in so many areas, including the impactful watershed cleanup. Overall, despite COVID, our district remains on good, solid membership and financial footing. The district's financial report is available on the district's website for the membership to review. Yes, I've learned this year many things. Most importantly, you may not be able to control your circumstances. However, you can be able to control how you respond to them. I'm so deeply proud of how the presidents and clubs have responded to their circumstances. Their responses have kept our district alive and vibrant, serving our communities and attracting new members to the family of Rotary. It was not easy, but we all learned we can adapt and be positive. I am most proud of the district as the district governor, offering gratitude, respect, and honor to all the club presidents, assistant governors, committee heads, and each and every member. Thank you for all your many efforts this year. I need to thank those who supported me, and there are many. Those in the district who gave guidance and organization, especially my trainer, Rick Karen. He listened, and often I needed listening too. Also, my wife, Debbie, always there and always willing to organize, support, and help me with everything. Special thanks to President Kathy Kane of my home club. Their enthusiasm and support is greatly appreciated. As district governor, I've had the pleasure of attending and Zooming to many meetings, and I am struck by the deep and strong bonds of caring friendship, diverse peoples working together in service for their communities, the world, and themselves. As a district, we have one additional opportunity to get together in person, outdoors, at the Taylor Conservatory on June 15th. Put it on your calendar. This is for the Peace Picnic Party to celebrate Rotary and our Peace Chain links. More to come on this opportunity. It's impossible to relate in a few minutes all of this past year. One highlight not to be overlooked was the earth-shattering news that Jennifer Jones, our own Jennifer Jones, becoming Rotary International's president for 2022-2023. Amazing. I dreamed of a district where clubs, through a peace chain, have linked to the community with like-minded individuals to attract new members and engage them in Rainbow of Service. And I am so proud of the committee members and the incredible successes they have experienced, with a closed border, which is the aspect of this year that has hurt most. We all have so much to be proud of as we look back, and so much to be excited about as we look forward to the coming year under the leadership of my friend, District Governor-elect Aruna Kushik. I know that we have done this year will create another million dreams. Thank you so much.
Well, I think I'm good to jump out of a plane, I think. But
Jump out of a plane. I just want to get back in a plane.
yeah, I think I could do that.
Hey, Dave, do you know what significant thing happened this year, 100 years ago?
I sure do. Did you know that it's Wonder Bread's 100th anniversary and Cheez-Its 100th anniversary? And I figured, Wonder Bread from Michigan, by the way, I'm going to make myself a Wonder Bread and Cheez-It sandwich.
Yeah, no, that was the year the Rotary Club of Adrian Noon was chartered. Let's hear about that now.
Hello everyone, my name is Chuck Chase, president of the Adrian Noon Rotary Club in Adrian, Michigan. Our club is honored to have been asked to share with you how proud we are to be celebrating our 100th anniversary during Governor Knowles' year. Our club was organized on March 24, 1921 at a banquet held at the Gussenbauer Tea Room in downtown Adrian. 24 men who were visiting Rotarians from the Toledo, Jackson, and Hillsdale clubs were the charter members. Soon after its founding, the club implemented a free medical clinic in Adrian to care for children with disabilities. In 1961, Adrian Rotarians, under the leadership of Carl Delmater and Gene Olson Sr., organized the Adrian Rotary Foundation. In 1965, under the leadership of Charles Hickman, our club led an effort to save the historic Croswell Opera House from demolition by raising the needed money for renovation. In 1989, our club entered the international arena with the support of a dental clinic in Brazil, later named after former Adrian Rotarian and my brother, Dr. Bill Chase. This project was supported generously by District 6400 for many years. On many of his jaunts to Brazil, Bill was accompanied by PDG Bob Gallagher to chronicle the great work Rotary was doing. Bill even wrote a book about it. Speaking of international grants, today, 100 years later, our club is partnered with the Rotary Club of New Delhi in India to submit its largest global grant ever. This grant will be used to underwrite the cost of reparative surgeries for approximately 25 children affected by polio in Delhi. In 1993, just 2 years after the launch of RI's Polio Plus campaign, our club raised more than $100,000 for this program. In 1996, our club celebrated its 75th anniversary. Dave Maxwell, shown here, was president. The Adrian Rotary Club has had the distinct honor of having 5 of its members serve as district governor: Gene Olson, John Dawson, Bill Chase, Bruce, and Sue Golson. Like all other Rotary clubs in District 6400 and around the world, our club continues to sponsor programs in our community. Here are some examples of programs that we run throughout the year. To commemorate our 100th anniversary, a centennial clock will be dedicated and placed in Adrian's Comstock Park in mid-May. So in conclusion, on behalf of the entire club, thank you for this opportunity, and especially to Governor Knoll for his leadership this year, and to everyone in District 6400 for making us all proud to be Rotarians.
Congratulations, Rotary Club of Adrian Noon, on your club's 100 years of service.
Our next speaker has been a visual storyteller for more than 20 years, serving as the first photographer for Rotary International from 2004 to 2019. Over the span of her career, she's documented projects globally and locally, led by Rotarians taking action in their own communities. It's my pleasure to introduce Alice Henson.
Hi, Dave. Thank you so much for that introduction. Greetings, Rotarians. What a year it continues to be humans engaging in Rotary opportunities. Thanks, DG Knoll, for inviting me over a year ago to present at your conference. I hope everyone is staying healthy and safe. I look forward to a time that we can all be together in person. I'm excited to share my images and stories this evening with my favorite Rotary district. But please don't tell all the other districts you're my favorite. Please join me in the Afterglow event at 8:30 p.m. The link will be sent in the chat. Let's get started on a little journey transporting you to some of the places my Rotary career has taken me and the wonderful people I've met. Day after day, ordinary people become heroes through extraordinary and selfless actions to help their neighbors. I believe this quote exemplifies the nature of a Rotarian hero. How fitting that a Rotary volunteer was getting ready to place this sign in the entrance of a newly built tiny homes for the homeless in Seattle, Washington. Mercer Island Rotary Club members and carpenters volunteered to build and paint the homes. As I was putting this presentation together, I was having fun thinking of other words to make up a hero acronym. Time and time again, I've witnessed Rotarians creating hope and possibilities for people, elevating opportunities and for individuals and entire communities, establishing lasting relationships, openness within themselves and the hearts and minds of others through shared experiences. These are some of the amazing places in the world I've witnessed Rotarians doing everyday actions to create positive and lasting impact. My first international assignment took me to Thailand and Cambodia. The Aka Training Center took in children from 27 Aka Hill Tribe villages. Some were orphans, others were sent by their parents. They learned English and Thai to help them function in mainstream Thai society. Linda and Maxine taught sewing in the same room used as a library filled with books. Other club members from British Columbia worked on construction projects and taught English lessons while I was there. I love capturing slice of life moments, such as this Rotarian connecting with the kids and being a kid herself. On a South Island of Thailand, I met tsunami survivor Juri. She stands on the former site of her home in farm fields. Her husband died in the tsunami, leaving Juri to start over and raise their 2 children. Rotarians and local volunteers help build new homes for survivors like Juri. Thai Rotarians coordinated food distribution and other supplies to displaced people. In Cambodia, I met landmine survivors. Many were going through rehabilitation or being fitted for prosthetics. Fana and her husband Peach met at the center. Fana stepped on a landmine while collecting firewood. Peach was a soldier when he stepped on a landmine in 1998. I've covered multiple projects in Africa. I spent time documenting young women learning the traditional art of batiking fabric. It offered them a viable artistic skill and opportunity to sell their wares in local markets. Often, when girls reach puberty, they drop out of school due to the lack of menstrual hygiene products and sex trafficking. Clubs in Niger and Germany sponsored this project. Women traveled from near and far across the desert region to receive medical checkups for themselves and their children at a Rotary-sponsored clinic. The children would receive vaccinations, including for polio. This scene at a Rotary-funded well outside the clinic caught my eye across the way. People at the well were observing me as much as I was observing them. It was only a brief moment of stillness until we all got back to what we were doing. In Uganda, I was happy to see projects with local Rotarian and community liaison leadership. It's just one example that prioritizes respect for community members' knowledge of what their needs are and how they are best supported through partnerships, volunteers, and supplies. In the Dominican Republic, the Biosand Filter Project, once again led by local Rotarians, focused on community engagement, the benefits of clean water, and the ease of maintaining in-home water filters. Sarah and Robert went around conducting home filter installations and workshops. Leonida's child was born days before she received her water filter, giving her child a better start in life by reducing illnesses from waterborne pathogens. Most of the area homes did not have potable water. In the Romanian countryside, Rosica milks her cows and the men of the Spatsic family stand on the hillside of their fields. They participate in the Farmers Feed the Children project, a partnership between Heifer International and the Rotary Club of Little Rock, Arkansas, and Cluj-Napoca, Romania. The farmers are given livestock and other resources in exchange for donating portions of beef, dairy, and poultry to local children's facilities. A polio survivor works as a seamstress, climbs the long and tall cement stairs of her home. She navigates them regularly to get to her rooftop sewing room, a reminder of what polio survivors endure. Still, she is considered fortunate since she has a loving family and hasn't been discarded to the streets. Jennifer Jones shared the image on the left during her End Polio Now TED Talk. Brazilian Rotarian Gilberto, a survivor of a childhood electrical accident and manager at an electrical company, teaches young people the skills to become electricians. He is one of several Rotarians who developed the course and teaches the program. The tuition for the students was in part funded by a matching grant. Jumping back to 2005, in Nicaragua was when I first met Rotarians from District 6400. In fact, it was actually on the plane ride down there that I met Larry and Sarah Wright. Larry tells the story best about how we bonded instantly over Mac computers when he saw me working on the plane. The group was there working on projects at a primary school and vocational training center that helped children, many that weren't in school. Instead, they spent their days with their families scavenging in the city dump. Witnessing children scavenging in the dump for food and items to sell was a heart-wrenching experience. Although this problem still exists, there is an upside. At the Aldo de Bon School, many children over the years have received an education, school uniforms, and regular meals they wouldn't have otherwise. This image I took during the same assignment in Chinandega at the Batania Vocational Training Center. It continues to be used on Rotary.org to exemplify supporting education. Fast forward to October 2019, my last international travel assignment. I returned to Chinandega once again by invitation from Larry and Sarah. I can hardly express what it meant to me to receive such a request a month after the ending of my 15-year career as a staff photographer for Rotary International. This time, District 6400 Rotarians, Detroit area volunteers, Nicaraguan Rotarians, and local volunteers came together to operate a week-long dental clinic and EMT training for students and community residents. 14 years after my first trip to Nicaragua, I felt I had come full circle in my Rotary career. It was truly amazing to see the dedication and connections continue through this international partnership. I couldn't have asked for a better way to bookend my Rotary career. Colleen, a dental hygienist on the team, worked tirelessly and with great patience with children and young adults that didn't have regular dental checkups. Sometimes the entire team included a reassuring mother in the room with her son who was scared to be in the dental chair. I also had a chance to visit Aldo de Bon School again. It was wonderful to see a thriving student population and the school meal program going strong. My US-based projects have taken me to places like Gainesville, Missouri to cover a mobile food pantry project. Shauna on the right was a young mother that was kind enough to let me follow her during a vulnerable time in her life. The project supports rural counties in Southwest Missouri and Northern Arkansas, where many lack access to food banks. When floods devastated Cedar Rapids, Iowa, even Rotarians were affected, and some, like Serena Ward, lost their homes. Rotarians are so used to helping others during their time of need. It can be a challenging turn of event for those normally in service to others. Ultimately, Serena was grateful for her Rotary network. Some of the benefits of doing US-based projects is the accessibility for follow-up coverage, developing trust and lasting friendships. A Seattle-based club project, initially known as Rotary First Harvest, evolved into its own entity, Harvest Against Hunger. It illustrates the power of club-generated ideas that find a solution to a community need. Look for this image of my friend and executive director of Harvest Against Hunger, Rotarian David Bobanek, in the June issue of Martha Stewart Living magazine. The story highlights the tremendous success they are having in reducing food waste by gleaning produce from local organic farms and distributing it at Seattle food banks. Around 2013, in the years in between my Nicaragua trips, Larry Wright came to RI headquarters to pitch this new thing he was involved with called Launch Detroit. New at the time, but by now, I'm sure you know the program focuses on microfinance mentorship and business education for Detroit area entrepreneurs. The energy was so great that day during the first information center in Southwest Detroit. None of us knew how much we'd be affected by that meeting. For those of you that know Larry, you know he has a knack for drawing you into what he's excited about and getting you on board. When I saw this unassuming moment of two men casually chatting after the information session, I could tell it meant something. I didn't know what it was, but it ended up being pretty special. Not only did Noel become Levi Johnson's Launch Detroit mentor, they became fast friends and shared in life celebrations together, like Levi's 60th birthday party. In no time, the cohort of entrepreneurs for the pilot program was set. I was able to profile about half of the original cohort, generous people that let me into their lives, sharing their stories and ambitions. One thing led to another. New projects and new friendships began. Rotarian mentor Roberto Sanchez and entrepreneur Irma Fuentes did just that. Roberto saw a need and the desire to beautify Irma's storefront. It was a great day of giving back by the community and immense gratitude on Irma's part for her storefront makeover. Irma had weathered some tough years leading up to this moment. She is a cancer survivor, her husband died, and then left to manage the hardware store with no prior business skills. Here she had just finished telling her son in Texas what all these generous people had done for her. While documenting the lives and work of others I have created some special friendships of my own along the way. Latricia Wright, entrepreneur and Rotarian, became a friend to me early on. We've done yoga together, stayed at each other's homes. She shares her wellness knowledge with me. Once she even sent me a care package when I broke my foot. I'm so grateful for this friendship that wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for Rotary. I know all of you could share similar stories of relationships you've made over the years through Rotary. You are much more than an ad campaign, but these words ring true. You are real people of action that breathe into existence, fighting hunger, transformation, connection, mentoring, and ending polio. Keep being humans, engaging in Rotary opportunities. The world needs you now more than ever. Thank you, DG Knoll, for being the most positive superhuman and making the world smile brighter. What an honor to present at your conference. And thank you to all my other Rotarian and volunteer friends that I haven't mentioned by name. I'm thinking of you. I hope you're all looking forward to President nominee Jennifer Jones' keynote address tonight. I know that I am. Please stay in touch.
Thank you so much, Alice, for visually bringing Rotary to life for all of us. That was a stunning presentation. Thank you again.
That was awesome.
You're most welcome.
It's now our pleasure to introduce past District Governor and District Rotary Foundation Chair, Rick Caron.
Thank you, Dave and Stacy, Rotarians and friends. The success of the Rotary Foundation is the foundation of Rotary success, and the success of the foundation depends upon your contributions. I am proud to say that District 6400 has always been amongst the leading districts in per capita giving and in total giving. This is one of the many reasons why we can refer to ourselves as Super District 6400. Today, we recognize all the new Rotary Foundation achievements since our foundation and membership gala back on November 10th, 2020. We begin with the Paul Harris Fellowship, which marks the donation of at least $1,000 to the Rotary Foundation. They are Adali Feliciano from Adrian Morning. From the District 6400 Global E-Club, Victor Adewusi, Gloria Agbador, and Don Cutler. From Dearborn, Cindy Cannon and Janice Gilliland. From Dearborn Heights, Danielle Paletko. From Detroit, Anthony Holt. Also from Detroit, Catherine Wolford, Curtis Gordon, Kelsey Hartung, Latricia Wright, Margaret McMullen, Monica Denise Davey, Nicole Valentini, Rita Greslick. Continuing from Detroit, Shirley Roseman and Wilfred Beal. From the Rotary Club of Gibraltar, Mariah Helka and Todd Taylor. From Hines Park, Jeffrey Morford and Jennifer Ribby. From Huron Township, John Chant. And from LaSalle Centennial, Linda Amato. From Taylor, Chad Cusino. From Trenton, Chris Sorensen. And from Windsor 1918, Emma Buffton and Mary Ann Barber. Paul Harris +1, donations of over $2,000 from Adrian Morning, Don Opsel and Mayor Muala. From Canton, Bill Simmerer. From Cottam, Wayne Highland. From Dearborn, Darlene Schoolmaster and Eric Rader. And from Detroit, Bruce Wilson. From Harrow, Lisa Fisher, Cyril Bird from Huron Township, Arun Gupta from Monroe, and John Albrecht from Westland. From Windsor 1918, Janice Belmore and Robert Thompson. Paul Harris +2, donations of at least $3,000. From Belleville, John McDermott. From Blissfield, Joe D. Fries. From Clinton, John Kruger, and Colleen Naiman from Dearborn. Renata Crooms from Dearborn Heights. Stephanie Winger from Essex, Tara Meyer from Harrow. Continuing with the Paul Harris Fellow +2 from Huron Township, Kenneth Moore and Royal Lilly. From LaSalle Centennial, Maria Price, Julie Hardy from the Passport to Service Club, and Assistant Governor Aaron Dobbins from Taylor. Also from Taylor, Anthony Nasita, Soon Kwan, and Teresa Majincalda. From Trenton, Bill Lefevre, Kathy Kane, Raymond Yee, and Richard Nykiel. From Wayne, Linda Gable. From 1918, Neil McTavish. And from Wyandotte, Bob Curtis. The Paul Harris Plus 3, donations of at least $4,000. Michael Olsaver from Adrian, Kurt Diver from Dundee, Odawala Oluwasian Osadeko from the Global E Club, Paul Stockman from Grosse Pointe Sunrise, and Aaron Gupta from Monroe. The Paul Harris Plus 4, donations of $5,000. Bernadette Durkin from Detroit, and also from Detroit, Thomas McFarland. From Grosse Pointe Sunrise, Paul Stockman, and Marilyn Price from Northville. Paul Harris Plus 5, donations of $6,000. Joyce Rochwick from Belleville, Rhonda Hall from Blissfield, Merritt Robinson from Detroit, Matthew Honkala from Grosse Ile, and Susie Sanchez Honkala, also from Grosse Ile, and Darn Marsh from 1918. Paul Harris Plus 6, $7,000 in donations from Dearborn, Leroy Hallman. From Grosse Pointe, Mark Wilson. Livonia, John Fries. Kent Early from Plymouth. Catherine Rosevier from Plymouth AM. Joseph Tsang from Westland, and Kay Douglas from 1918. Paul Harris Plus 7, donations of at least $8,000. Mary Jo Suchi from Belleville. Vicki Lynn Perry from Fairlane Sunrise. Roger Hull from Grosse Pointe. John Kelly from Northville. Diane Sampson from the Passport to Service Club. Russ Jones from Plymouth. From Trenton, John Martinson and Leo Stevenson. And the highest Paul Harris level for donations of over $9,000, John Van Stipdonk from Wayne, Ron Arkell from 1918, Terry Cloutier from Windsor St. Clair, and Henry Dotson from Woodhaven and Brownstown. And we now go to major donors, contributions of at least $10,000. From Amherstburg, Margaret Prince, Curtis Whitmore from Dearborn Heights, Thomas Brown Jr. from Detroit, Patrick Giza from Northville, and John and Lois Van Stipdonk from Wayne, Anthony Mancinoni from Windsor 1918, and Patricia Soulier from Windsor Roseland. Major donor level 2, Donald Lieto from Monroe. And the very last major donor level 4, contributions of over $200,000, the estate of Doris Henderson from Windsor 1918. So thank you very much to all those that have contributed and have been recognized here tonight. Over to the Trenton Village Theatre.
I closed my eyes, drew back the curtain to see for certain what I thought I knew, far, far away. Someone was weeping, but the world was sleeping. Any dream will do, any dream will do.
Thank you, Joel. This is the amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat from the stage show, Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. Look at all these amazing colors. As the dreams of Joseph came true, so do the amazing dreams of D6400 Rotarians through these amazing international projects. Here's Jeannie Knopf DeRoche to take us to Ghana. Thank you, Jeannie.
Imagine that you are a bright, wide-eyed child sitting in a classroom, curious to learn. You have no supplies, no books. Your teacher is standing in front of the room, writing a partial story on the blackboard, and you repeat back the words. This is how children learn to read in the northwest region of Ghana, where resources are limited, teachers lack training, and the method of education is didactic. Past District Governor Paul Sincock understood the need for teacher training in this area and made this the focus of his vocational training team, the VTT, that traveled to Ghana in May 2019. I had the privilege of leading that team of 3 talented teachers, along with Sheila Blair Mosley, Mary Jean Gallagher, and Linda Morrow. As you can see, it was interactive, fun, and made an impact in the way teachers approach their students. Teachers were there not only coming to the training, but the VTT team went into the classrooms. Our goal was to train teachers in engaging their students in the classroom. The relationships, trust, and skills developed in that training resulted in teachers realizing that many of their children did not know how to read. The Rotary Club of Plymouth AM responded to this need with another VTT Global Grant. Because of COVID, this team is not able to travel to Ghana, but plans are in the work for virtual training with teachers. In addition, over $10,000 of books will be distributed. Much of this money was raised by Interact students. I'm going to let them tell you about their part of this project.
Hi, my name is Maggie Clark, and I'm the Vice President of Interact. Last year, we raised money throughout the year for our annual event, Peace Summit, which is our main event of the year. In past years, we've done blanket making for Mott's, and we chose to raise money for Ghana this year because we knew that they were in desperate need of school supplies.
Hi, I'm Olivia Blaufus, the president of Interact this year. During our Peace Summit last year, we were unable to meet at the high school as a large group due to a snowstorm. We came up with a solution to have our other Interact clubs that are originally invited to the event to do their own mini Peace Summits. We gave each club supplies to make bracelets, write letters, and take Polaroids so they could participate in this event.
And lastly, hello, I'm Anna Gill, co-vice president this year. So we raised a total of $7,000 through our usage of sponsorships and local fundraisers like our bake sale. Overall, we were very excited to have raised $7,000 towards school supplies for the children at Ghana.
Our work in education in the Upper West region continues because that bright, wide-eyed child sitting in a school in Jarapa wants to learn. These children are all of our children. Now let's take a look at 4 other amazing international projects.
In 2017, Governor Knoll went on a Rotary service trip to Fosu, Ghana, led by Kim Spiro of the Essex Rotary Club. There, he helped do dentistry at a small hospital-based dental clinic serving a catchment area of 200,000 people. While there, he observed the most extreme dental pathology of his 40-year career. The need and demand for care was beyond the capacity of the small, ill-equipped dental clinic. The existing staff was well-trained and doing the best they could under the poorly equipped situation. It was time to do what Rotarians do in the presence of need: join leaders, exchange ideas, and take action. We joined Trenton Rotary with Cape Coast Rotary, District 6400, District 6380, the Rotary Foundation, the Howie Family Foundation, the hospital in Fosu, the ADEC Dental Equipment Company, and other generous donors, including Dr. Jackson's staff donation, all resulted in an appreciated total of $180,000. The end result is a modern, well-equipped dental facility 3 times the size of the original facility, with a dental laboratory that will serve to alleviate suffering and death for a regional population of 200,000. All because humans engaged Rotary opportunities. Heroes.
Hi, I'm Sarah from South Sudanese Leadership and Community Development. We are a 501c3 nonprofit organization founded in 2004 to empower and equip South Sudanese refugees living in northern Uganda. Our goal is to support the development of healthy, sustainable, and peaceful refugee communities.
We work in 2 refugee settlements in northern Uganda called Mungala and Alawa, which have a total of 15,000 refugees. Refugees living in the settlements experience extreme poverty. There are food shortages and a lack of clean water. There is 1 health center for 15,000 refugees, and women give birth at home on the floor of their mud huts. There is no electricity or running water. Our work focuses on sustainable agricultural development, women's empowerment, peace building, and clean water and sanitation. We support many refugee-led cooperatives, including farming, livestock, and women-specific cooperatives such as soap making and hair salons. We support refugees to sustainably grow, harvest, and store their own food through agricultural and livestock cooperatives with a focus on supporting the needs of pregnant women and children. Women and children make up 80% of the population in the refugee settlements. We are empowering women by developing their potential as community leaders, educators, and peace builders. Due to the scarcity of resources in the area, violence is common in the refugee settlements. In 2020, we developed peace-building teams consisting of men and women refugees to help mitigate conflict. Disastrous flooding in 2020 led to the destruction of latrines and the contamination of drinking water. We are working with the community to build new latrines, restore wells, and provide clean water to all refugees. The support of Rotary clubs and all our generous donors makes this work possible. Thank you for supporting us.
Over the years, the Rotary Club of Detroit has done many projects in India. So when the pandemic was at a crisis level in Detroit, the Rotary Club of Pune Metro, India wanted to return the helping hand to bring much needed PPE to the people of Detroit. Collaborating with Rotary clubs in southeastern Michigan and in India, DDF funds were leveraged to support the need for PPE, and more than $100,000 were donated. Directly helped in this effort were Gleaners Food Bank, Cass Community Social Services, the John Dingell Veterans Hospital, Henry Ford Health, Brilliant Detroit, Detroit Mercy Dental, Presbyterian Village of Michigan, the United Methodist Retirement Community, Detroit Meals on Wheels, and many others within southeastern Michigan.
Hello everyone, my name is Elvira DeJesu, and I'm a member of the Rotary Club of LaSalle Centennial. I'm here to tell you about our Wasamba Water Project. The Wasamba Water Project started with a simple presentation by an enthusiastic young woman named Flora, who lived in our local community, but it was living and had studied and lived in Malawi, Africa. She came to tell us about this great boys' school who was thriving educationally and wanted to grow. However, they were limited by the one thing that we take for granted every day, water. A group of 4 Rotarians in 2019 decided to travel to Malawi to see firsthand how we might help. We met with the locals, learned about their goals, completed a needs assessment to see exactly the scope of the work that needed to be done, and came back and engaged our club members to become part of this project. This resulted in us developing a global grant with Rotary in the amount of $289,000 US. It was a big number, a big goal. However, the need was great and we needed to do our part. This project really demonstrates the power of Rotary. Thanks to the Canadian government, the Howie Foundation, nearby districts, and you, District 6400, and local Rotarians, this project was made possible. We will be bringing clean water to the community of Wasamba. You have really made a big difference, District 6400, not only in the lives of the boys in the current Wasamba Boys School, but the future campus that this clean water is going to be able to support, as well as the community that surrounds this school. Because of you, they will have clean, safe drinking water for generations to come. Thank you.
Wow, congratulations to all the clubs in our district on such amazing work you've done.
And it is my pleasure to introduce our next guest, my sister. When given carte blanche what to say, well, my wheels started turning. It occurred to me that most of you already know her and know her quite well. But I know her a little bit differently, and that's where I'll focus my introduction. I know Jennifer as my sister, the one who whipped peas across the table just to get me in trouble for reacting, but also the one who has been my fiercest cheerleader. But she's always been just my sister. It wasn't until I worked on a project with her at Media Street years ago that I saw a different side of her and was blown away by her professionalism, her expertise, and her dedication. That day, I saw her through a different lens. And just like that, she wasn't just my sister anymore. I share this story with you because I think it's the perfect analogy for how we connect with Jennifer in our own district. It's easy to see her as just our sister in 6400. But when you look at what she's done and hear about what she's doing, you may just start to feel the way I did back then. Now we can see her through a different lens than the Jennifer we originally got to know. It's through this lens that we can see the vision Jennifer has for our organization and how that vision will move us forward. It's a lens that allows us to see a brighter, stronger, and more inclusive future. District 6400, she's not just our sister anymore. And with that, I introduce you to the President of Rotary International for 2022-23, my sister and yours, Jennifer Jones.
Jen, who can I turn to? You give me something I can hold on to.
Thank you, David and Stacy, and good evening to so many good friends. I cannot tell you what a treat it is to spend time with you here in my home district during this star-studded district conference. And thank you, Noel and Debbie, for being rock star heroes. I have to make a comment that certainly all of the program elements tonight and last night have been so heartwarming and overwhelming to understand the breadth and scope of what we as Super 6400 have been able to accomplish during a time where we have obviously been rocked to our core, but we're rock stars, we're heroes, as we know, and we've been able to step up and do things at a time when perhaps it would have been easier to maybe not do a lot. I do want to give a shout out to our president's representative, Harish Ramchandani, who is a very, very good friend. And I know he's all the way in Jamaica tonight, but he is with us in spirit and he did a great job last night. And thank you for serving as the president's representative. Thank you for being here in the capacity officially as president, because that's what a representative does. They serve as the representative of the president. I also want to give, it's hard to go down a list of shout outs to people, but I really do want to be able to say, just how incredible it was to see Alice tonight and to see the way that she has been a visual storyteller, not only of stories of the world, but particularly stories of District 6400. And I know she was saying that, she doesn't want to give, she wants us to be quiet about being her favorite, but she's our favorite. And I know that of the more than 800 members of the Secretariat, sometimes we think of ourselves as volunteers and staff, but I know one thing that has been a truism for me is that Alice from day one has always been a dear friend. And I know she's that to many of you who are watching here tonight. So it speaks to the incredible capacity we have through our organization, through the kind of people who work with us and work for us, and that all of us in one way, shape, or form all meld together to create this tapestry that changes our world. And we're very fortunate to be able to cross paths with people like Alice Henson. It really has been a wonderful journey, and we look forward, obviously, in our district to a very vibrant future and continued leadership of Aruna and Tracy and Russ. And we know that we are indeed in very good hands. And Noel and Debbie, this has been a year where you have had to do this very differently than you would have ever anticipated or planned. And wow, have you shown up? You were the right people in the right place at the right time to make sure that our district was able to understand how to move forward, to protect us, to make us understand how to protect our neighbors, how to have compassion for people, but also to open our hearts and minds to those around us. And you have led with great example. And so I know this isn't, you talked about last night, you can't always get what you want. Well, this is a great example of what you get what you need, and that's what you did. You provided us with what was needed. So has President Holger this year. He has challenged us to open opportunities, and one of the largest of those has been connectivity in our clubs, in our districts, and quite candidly, across the globe. In the midst of this pandemic, we have seen the way we connect and communicate change dramatically, not only overnight, but by the hour or by the minute. That, quite honestly, seems sometimes a bit daunting. But just think about our use of social media. For many of us, it's replaced traditional news sources. It has the ability to spread information often, quite honestly, without filter. We post, tweet, share the things that we like and sometimes the things that we don't. It's just over 15 years ago that Facebook exploded into our world. I often joke that we can control the space station with a cell phone, and I don't think that I'm really that far off the mark. A few years ago, I was walking down 57th Street in Manhattan, the good old days when we could walk down the street in another city. And I wondered if a Rotary friend, now not just a Rotary friend, but David Goldson, the son of Bruce and Sue, living in New York, wondered if he was available for dinner. I asked Siri to call David. We connected. And then I asked Siri to call a restaurant and make a reservation. In the time I had walked 3 short city blocks, I had connected and taken action. Now, juxtapose this against Rotary. At the core of our organization is connectivity. We are the original social network. And because of the enduring connections that we make with each other, we are able to solve the world's most pressing challenges. The genesis of an idea could be born by a single individual, but because of Rotary, we have the ability to connect the dots, scale globally, and quite literally change the face of our planet. A few years ago, some of you have heard this, I was prepping for a media interview and I was talking with Dave, my brother who you've been with tonight. And I was prepping for this interview and it was about the role of service in civil society. And out of his mouth came these words: in order to live in the kind of society you want, you have to help build it. I love this quote. It speaks to the core of who we are. In order to live in the kind of society you want, that we want, we have to help build it. It's what we do. I see a Rotary that increases our impact by focusing on our strategic plan and expands our reach by engaging the entire family of Rotary at every end of the spectrum to create lasting change. As we reflect upon our new strategic priorities in Rotary, we could have never envisioned that our ability to adapt, the fourth in those strategic priorities, would become our North Star during what is inarguably the most profound time in recent history. Just look at how we have responded to COVID-19. I like to say, when the world stepped down, we stepped up. We didn't need to tell our members, you, to be people of action. You showed us. You already were. We've moved more than $38 million through the Rotary Foundation for frontline support of PPE, ventilators, food scarcity items, and so much more. And just imagine the tens of millions of more that we have raised in our own communities that hasn't even been factored into that have provided life-saving support. Our polio infrastructure has helped us to combat and deal with COVID in many parts of the world. And while polio immunizations had to take a brief hiatus last March, polio workers were able to pivot, a 2020 word, into becoming COVID workers and continue critical contact tracing and surveillance. This is a story that we should be shouting from the rafters about our relevance in tackling both of these deadly viruses. Today, we stand on the brink of history, both in the eradication of polio and the fight against COVID-19. We have had the audacity to believe we can eradicate polio, and we will. I believe when Rotary began this journey towards eradicating polio, we were like teenagers. And like adolescents, we were in the process of growing up. It galvanized us towards a cause. It made us speak with a united voice. It made us believe we could achieve the unthinkable. We collected notable global figures to stand shoulder to shoulder, adding additional credibility to our cause. It made us understand that if you have dreams, it's our responsibility to make them happen. Not too long ago, one of our senior leader colleagues posed an interesting philosophical question. He said, if 30 years ago, we would have asked Rotarians to raise $1.5 billion and immunize 2.5 billion children, and it would take us more than 30 years to do it, would we have done it? Likely not. But just think, one person's dream was able to mobilize 1.2 million of us to dream the same dream. As you know, for so long, we have done our good work quietly and not for recognition. And while this is noble, it's made us difficult for people to understand the good work of Rotarians. We saw that tonight through the lens, the literal lens of Alice's work. What we've learned is that when we tell our stories, like-minded people want to join with us. And what a story we have. Albert Einstein, whose theories, as we know, exploded and reshaped our ideas of how the universe works, is considered the most influential physicist of the 20th century. Now, part of his charm was his disheveled look, and in addition to his uncombed hair, one of his peculiar habits was to never wear socks. Such a quirky and eccentric soul, and one of the greatest thinkers of our time. Over his lifetime, he was often quoted, and when I read the following quote, I thought he may have written this for Rotary. He said, "Strive not to be of success, but rather to be of value." This, my friends, I think is a game-changing concept for us, because if you turn that thought on its head, you can see that understanding our value is actually the key to our success. So, how do we measure what's important to us? What is our value proposition? I believe that our new vision statement provides a contemporary lens for describing and defining our path. These words, together, we see a world where people unite and take action to create lasting change across our globe, in our communities, and in ourselves. The lasting change within ourselves, I think that might be my favorite part. That is the value of membership. We bring leaders in and we create better leaders. From year to year, the emphasis in Rotary changes, but what's really important remains the same. We are still and always will be an organization built on the core values of service, fellowship, diversity, integrity, and leadership. We're united in our belief and use of the four-way test, and we're people of action. We're working together to increase our impact, expand our reach, enhance our participant engagement, and, as I said, increase our ability to adapt. These are big, ambitious tasks, well beyond the scope of any one leader in any term to fully enact. That's why we must work together, one term to the next, one level of leadership to another. We are all one Rotary, on one team, working tirelessly toward important goals that will affect the lives of millions. That's our great mission, one that I am so proud of and pleased to be working with you to bring to life. We're all humans engaging Rotary opportunities. Thank you, Governor Knoll, for dreaming your dreams, for creating this rainbow connection. And especially thank you for your outstanding leadership in a time where it wasn't what you planned. I truly look forward to a day when we can once again celebrate in person, and maybe that'll be at a party for District 6400 at our international headquarters in Evanston. Wouldn't that be fun? But until then, thank you all for being part of the family of Rotary, and enjoy the rest of this conference. It has been spectacular, and I wish you all the very best, and I love you.
I can see clearly now the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone all the dark clouds that had me blind. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day.
Thank you, Jen. I think I say for about, yes, applause, applause. I think I speak for 1.2 million of your brothers and sisters that we cannot wait to see what you do with this organization, and we stand behind you, and congratulations from everyone in 6400.
I don't know if you know this, but I wrote that.
Oh.
And I was I was going to say the same thing, but
Okay.
yeah. No,
Well,
no.
Now, little brother, District Governor-elect Aruna Kushik will talk about her upcoming year as our district governor.
Hello, everyone. Wow, what an incredible, amazing virtual conference. Kudos to Knoll's conference committee and the tech wizards of our district. Technology has brought us closer than ever before, and the vistas of ideas have been amazing. When Governor Knoll took on the persona of Captain Rotary, I suspect he had no idea what life had in store for his year. Captain Rotary was thrust into the Niagara Falls of COVID, and he rose above it to creatively lead us forward. Knoll, you've had a grand year. And more importantly, you have established that you and your band of merry Rotarians can face any challenges and do pirouettes to accomplish good in the world. Reminds me of Sister Teresa when we used to grumble about the rain and the heat. She used to say, just do it. Don't worry about anything else. The energy of this conference will be the wind beneath my wings as I take the reins. President-elect Shaker has set the tune for our coming year with his theme, Serve to Change Lives. Not too long ago, my husband Shiva was hospitalized for a couple of weeks. Each day, the nurses would draw blood or change his IV, and his thin veins presented a challenge. One afternoon, a senior and junior nurse kept trying for 45 minutes, and suddenly Shiva said, "Stop." He said, "I am the patient and I'm not frustrated. So why are you?" In India, we do pranayams, which is deep breathing. So take a few deep breaths with me. They did. He then took a washroom break and came back, and the nurses finished their IV hookup. When they left, I laughed, but in that moment, I knew I had witnessed service in action. He saw their distress and reached out to assist. I am so excited as each of my presidents have all received a silver lamp and the Illuminating Hope passport to service. They will be encouraging you to share a service story at each meeting. At the end of the year, the president and the Hope champion of the club will select the best service idea that reflects the heart of the club and send it to their AGs. These stories will be showcased by magazine editor John Weiss and his Illuminating Hope magazine team in preparation for our district conference next year. President-elect Shaker's theme, Serve to Change Lives, and his dream of each one bring one are linked. Our service doubles and triples when we include more hands to work with us and share in our vision of a better world. Let us share our individual passion of Rotary with our friends, family, community members, and bring them to service activities, events, and outings so they feel included in our lives. Our magical membership team of Margaret Williamson and Margaret Peggy Little will show you how you can bring friends and others into your circle. Encourage them to share their bag of tricks with you. COVID did not slow us down. I watched how wonderfully well everyone embraced technology and continued to serve their communities. Your passion is incredible. The Governor's Citation Committee has worked hard to list achievable criteria which will be shared in the news and notes. I would be over the moon if all the clubs participated and tried to achieve one of the levels of gold, silver, and bronze. Our foundation is the vehicle through which we do good in our community and the world. The money we give comes back to our districts, and your projects succeed because of these funds you have invested in our foundation. Thank you for giving so generously. This year, I follow in Governor Knowles' pathway, and there will be a US and a Canadian governor's golf outing. Why? Because when clubs apply for these funds on October 1st and April 1st, the Governor's Council is waiting to support you in changing lives. For example, these funds provided 40 underprivileged people with artificial limbs in Chennai and gave them back a life of dignity. These funds completed a dental clinic in Ghana and will serve a community that would otherwise have to walk for miles or suffer pain for months before the healing starts. The Governor's Golf Outing funds are for you to claim for doing good in the world. I know many of you have become Polio Plus Society charter members this year. Next year, we will continue to encourage you to become Polio Plus Society members and the champions of eradicating polio and keeping our promise to the children of the world. Oh, there is a short polio project led by Dean of Assistant Governors, Bruce Diven, and the information will be shared in a couple of months before October. It will get all your creative juices flowing. Our news and notes, which is brilliantly handled by PDGs Sue and Bruce Goldson, will continue to highlight all the information in our district and will encourage you to pay close attention to awards like the Hugh Archer, Headkey, and district recognitions. Conference Chair PDG Donna Schmidt, Shiva, and I are waiting to welcome all of you to the magnificent Grand Hotel next year at Mackinac Island from May 12th to the 15th, 2022. Governor Noel, thank you for your generosity in offering the opportunity to transfer registrants to next year. The amazing news is that there is no change in the price from this year. Conference hotel package is in US dollars, $1,495 for two, $1,275 for one. Early bird registration fee. Please take note of the dates for availing yourself of the discounts. Save $25 for one or save $50 for two. Go to Rotary6400.org to register. And yes, there will be a first-timers discount as well. Our conference registrars, Elaine and Harvey Snaden, will share their information with you in news and notes and assist with your registration. PDG Bob and Mary Jean Gallagher have an amazing program planned, and the rest of the committee will be enthusiastically waiting to share their dreams with you. We will celebrate your successes as we watch the sunset over the waters. Perhaps have a drink or two. These are exciting times, and I cannot wait to serve in changing lives and share in illuminating hope. Now, let's move to present this year's awards.
Thank you, Aruna. It sounds like an exciting year ahead. I'm sure that most of us are just itching to sign up for an in-person conference once again.
We're now going to take you back to the theater for the much anticipated awards ceremony. Over to you, Captain.
Good evening. You know, I am so enthused, so excited. I feel like I just got a big Rotary injection from all of this great programming, all of the great messaging from our Rotary International President for 22-23. Aruna has got all of these great plans. It's going to be so amazing. So we want to get into our awards and be able to show everybody how much we appreciate what you've done this year. So the Dean of Assistant Governors, Bruce Diven, is not able to be here tonight. He was going to do this portion. So we're going to do the Passport Awards, and it's my pleasure to identify the clubs who have completed the Passport to Fellowship and will be awarded this patch, which with a peel-off back can go right on their banner. The clubs were required to have 4 club members travel virtually to 4 other Rotary clubs, one of those trips being outside of the home country, USA or Canada. The following clubs achieved this award are as follows: Adrian Noon, Detroit, Windsor Walkerville, Windsor Roseland, Wayne, Westland, Trenton, Essex, Livonia, and D6400 Global Club. Again, congratulations to these 10 clubs. Now I'd just like to take a moment. Bruce Diven is not here. He's our Dean of Assistant Governors this year. And we would like to honor him for his efforts over the years in support of polio eradication. For many years, he has spearheaded World Polio Day activities and has participated in many fundraisers, particularly his efforts in skydiving for polio this year, which raised $20,000 for polio eradication. Congratulations on this Regional Service Award for a polio-free world. Thank you so much, Bruce. And now, I'd like to pass to Tracy to give the district awards.
Thank you, Governor Knoll. Good evening. Each year, Rotary District 6400 makes special recognition of clubs who have completed projects within the scope of the district governor's priorities for the Rotary year. Each club must have been completed an application for the award and/or entered data into the Rotary Club Central Database program. Tonight, Governor Knoll is recognizing, first, the club with the best use of social media, highlighting information about district, Rotary International, and Rotary Foundation activities. Please give a congratulations to the Rotary Club of Trenton for the district's Best Communication Award. Thank you. Next up is recognition for the club that achieved the highest net gain of members as recorded in the Rotary International database as of April 1st, 2021. The District 6400 Passport to Service Club gained a net gain of 10 members, a 143% increase in membership since July 1st of 2020. Next is the Polio Contribution Recognition Awards. This award goes to the Rotary Club of Trenton for the highest financial contribution between July 1st, 2020 and April 1st, 2021, raising an amount of $7,550. Secondly, the Rotary Club of Wayne is also recognized in this category for the highest amount of giving per capita in the amount of $188.83 per member. In the category of volunteer hours served, recognition is given to clubs that entered their information into the Rotary Club Central Database. Detroit, Huron Township, Northville, Trenton, Adrian Morning, and Windsor-Walkerville are recognized for their documented volunteer work this evening. Governor Knoll created an initiative this year named the Peace Chain, allowing clubs the opportunity to recognize individuals and organizations in their own communities that provide work that makes their communities stronger, safer, and more stable. 2 awards are provided tonight. The first is to the Rotary Club of Trenton for the most Peace Chain links submitted, and the second award is presented to the Rotary Club of Harrow for the most Peace Chain links submitted per capita. Thank you to all the clubs that submitted applications and nominations for the various awards this year. The work that you do on behalf of your communities and the world is priceless. And now to continue with tonight's awards presentation, let's return to District Governor Noel Jackson.
Thank you, Tracy. The District Service Award. This award honors those who consistently deliver to make the district strong and vibrant. The recipients of this honor and our gratitude are Bill Jasmine, Russ Jones, Therese Mangiacalda, Gino Salamone, Kim Spiro, Paula Talbot, Margaret Williamson, Charlie Zamet. The next award is going to be Rotary International Award, Citation for Meritorious Service Award. This award recognizes individual Rotarians who've demonstrated outstanding active service to the Rotary Foundation. Our recipient for this year is Sue Golson. Congratulations, Sue. The next award is the Rotary International Service Above Self Award. This prestigious award is to recognize an individual Rotarian who have demonstrated exemplary humanitarian service in any form and at any level, with an emphasis on personal volunteer efforts and active involvement in helping others through Rotary. This is Rotary International's highest honor. Only 150 are selected worldwide from 550 districts. This equals 27.27% chance of being selected. Okay? When I applied for this honor for Professor Richard J. Caron, I knew his qualifications created a statistical probability of award success. Congratulations, Rick Caron. Don't drop it. The next award is the Distinguished Service Award. This award is the Rotary Foundation's highest service recognition and is given to Rotarians who have exceptional service to the foundation beyond the district level over an extended period of time. No more than 50 of these are given from Rotary International each year. Let us congratulate Donna Schmidt. Congratulations, Donna. We have the H. William Ives Lifetime Achievement Award. This legacy award is in honor of the past Rotary International Director and past Rotary Foundation trustee, H. William Ives, who brought the joy of song to our district. This award is intended to recognize a single Rotarian for their exemplary service over an extended period of time. Please join me in honoring Neil Macbeth. Congratulations, Neil. Now to a room, right? So please welcome District Governor-elect Aruna Kushik as she presents our top district awards.
Good evening, everyone. Can you hear me? Great. Hugh Archer, inventor, engineer, executive humanitarian, scientist, and businessman. Past RI president from 1989 to 1990, and Dearborn Rotarian Hugh M. Archer was all those things and more, making him one of Rotary's Renaissance men. Hugh died on July 15, 2005, in Dearborn, Michigan, and his legacy to Rotary lives in the hearts and minds of Rotarians worldwide. Hugh's greatest belief was that Rotarians enjoyed their meetings, enjoyed service, enjoyed informality, and enjoyed getting to know each other. The RI theme for his year was Pure Hugh. Enjoy Rotary. Rotary District 6400 and his home club established this award to honor Hugh during his year as Rotary International President. This award is given to the club in District 6400 that initiates a new project that encourages teamwork among club members and best exemplifies Hugh's theme. The project that this club undertook to fund and complete embodied the spirit of Hugh Archer. In spite of the challenges presented by COVID, they raised funds and implemented the project. They socially distanced and cleaned, powder sprayed, built a fence, stained and sealed, painted pillars, and weeded. Over half the club showed up weekend after weekend to work on the structure before the winter. They were excited to see each other and talked about how they were all coping. The Hugh Archer Individual Club Award goes to the Rotary Club of Plymouth AM. The Hugh Archer Collaborative Award. Creativity was the hallmark. Recognizing that fundraising would be a challenge, they came up with an amazing collaboration. They embarked on raffling a car and partnered with each other to do so. It was brilliantly conceived. The Hugh Archer Collaborative Award goes to the following Rotary clubs: Woodhaven Brownstone, Wyandotte, Allen Park, Dearborn Heights, Fairlane Sunrise, Flat Rock, Gibraltar Rockwood, Romulus, Southgate, and Taylor. Now, you're all ready for the Dick Hetke? Dick Hetke, in his professional life, was an executive vice president of Eaton Chemical and Dye Stuff Company of Detroit. He was born in New Weld, Germany, and was educated in the United States public schools in Cleveland, Ohio, and our own Trenton, Michigan. Hetke joined as a member of the Rotary Club of Detroit in 1920 and eventually served as the president of the club. From there, he served Rotary International as district governor, RI director, and he was Rotary International president 1946 to 47. He also served as a member of the Rotary Foundation. This award is in honor and remembrance of Dick Hetke's contribution to Rotary International, but it especially honors the contribution that he made to our district clubs. As part of the Hetke Award, we also select several Service Division Recognition Awards. They are as follows: Club Administration, Rotary Club of Blissfield; for membership, Rotary Club of Northville; for public image, Rotary Club of Trenton; for service project, Rotary Club of Wayne; for foundation, Rotary Club of Adrian New. And now the presentation of the Dick Hetke Award for 2020-21. The overall winner of the Dick Hetke Award is the Rotary Club of Detroit. Congratulations.
Invite Myra up to the stage. Myra brought this back so that we could re-award it to her. So, come on up here, Myra.
Banner.
Well, here, you have to hold this. I'm tired of holding it.
Here, we'll hold this together.
That's great. Anyway, congratulations so much, Myra.
So much.
Thank
oh
you.
My gosh, our club has done such a wonderful job. So proud of the Rotary Club of Detroit, and thank you, everyone. Oh my
Thank
gosh,
you.
this is exciting.
We'll take that off. Yeah.
Totally surprised.
Congratulations to all winners of these very prestigious awards.
And on that note, she's going to get paid in Cheez-Its. Nice job.
Hi, Grandma and Grandpa.
That concludes our program for this evening. We'll now go live to the Trenton Village Theatre for closing remarks from Rosangela and Noel. Before we do that, we hope you'll visit one of our 2 Zoom rooms where Alice Henson and Jennifer Jones are looking forward to meeting with you after the conference. Over to you, Rosangela and Noel.
You know, Noel, when we started working on this conference a couple years ago, I never would have imagined things working out this way. But it's a night we'll never forget.
This year is certainly one we will never forget. So, as we close, let us remember our hero Rotarians who will always be in our hearts. Thank you, Rosangela.
Thank you, Noel.
Over the rainbow, why then sky, beyond the rainbow. Oh,